Yesterday, Team Liquid earned first place in dominating fashion. We'll see if Matt and the Golden Guardians can do something similar against Sven and the rest of TSM in our first matchup of the day. Here we see TSM making their way into the studio just moments ago, gearing up on stage as we speak for the first bout. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LCS Countdown, where for 30 minutes we tell you exactly how many games each team will win and get your thoughts on the meta until the timer reaches 0 and we jump into Champions Select. And for our brothers to the north, happy Canada Day, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. I like the positioning of the A
for
the very over clearly American mark.
Just cover this up a little bit.
Yeah, man, I spent most of my life in Canada. I love Canada Day.
You did. Great. Do you celebrate both Canada Day and the 4th of July?
I don't celebrate either.
Do you take some, do you pick sides?
I'm not a celebratory person.
Not at all.
I'll celebrate when NA wins Worlds.
There it is. I will be right there with you celebrating alongside. Let's preview today's matchups with our schedule presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Things kick off with Golden Guardians versus TSM. Then Counterlogic Gaming face off against FlyQuest. Later on in the day, Azael, Stixay, and Biofrost will be in the NALCS Lounge, casting Cloud9 versus EchoFox. So tune in to Riot Games 2, catch their coverage. If the craving catch you later in the day, visit a Jersey Mike's near you or order online at jerseymikes.com. Be sure to check in later in the split, where ordering a sub above could earn you a VIP trip to the Summer Finals alongside some in-game rewards. Now, looking at how these teams rank among one another, we see that while Team Liquid remain in the throne in first place, there's a four-way tie just above Clutch, FlyQuest, Golden Guardians, and Optic Gaming in 6th place. With those positions in mind, I want to solicit some over-unders from you guys towards the end of the split, entirely focused on how many games choice LCS teams will win, starting with Team Liquid. We're putting the line at 12.5. What do you guys think?
Well, they won 11 last split after starting 5-1. So you may think that they're clearly the best team in the league, which can still be true.
It can still be true.
I'm going to go under.
I'm going over. They ended up going under last split, but they were also up against a C9 and EchoFox that were looking like by far the best teams as we rounded out the first half of the split. This time they feel pretty unrivaled up at the top, which I think means they're going to be able to find a couple more wins. Yeah,
coming into the split, I was hoping that one of these teams would really be able to pull it together and jump ahead of the rest of the team. And I hope Mark is right, because that makes such a better story for Worlds. But I have just lost trust. I have lost so much trust after watching the inconsistency of this team during the spring split. We'll see.
All right, well, here's an interesting one for you guys. TSM at 11.5 wins.
This is hard.
They're 3-2 now. Once again, they won 11 in the spring, but they look a little better with Crick. I'm still going under because I feel like there is just so much parity in this league that I'm not willing to say, like if I'm not willing to say Team Liquid's going to win 13, I'm not saying that TSM's going to win 12 with the difference of those two teams, so I have to go under.
Yeah, I'm going under as well. Just pretty much the same reasoning. I think with how close these teams are together, I believe Team Liquid will go on that kind of like big run and be the dominant force, but I don't think there's a clear-cut number 2 underneath them. Even EchoFox, they're very erratic, so in their wins, it's like, oh my God, they're the best, but then when they lose, they kind of get smashed. And you know,
also, they just had a coaching change. Like, there's so much uncertainty. I can't say they'll win 12 games.
Well, the next one's not going to get any easier for you guys. EchoFox at 12.5 wins.
Well, I kind of spoiled my answer a little bit with what I just said. They're going under.
They're going under.
Same, dude. Like 13 games. They've already lost 2. They can only lose 5 if you want to hit that over.
That'd be 3 more losses over the course of the split.
They didn't win 13 last split when they were at like 8-1 at the halfway point in the season. I don't think they look nearly as good this split with all the crazy stuff that they're doing. So I think the whole middle of the league is just a big smorgasbord. We're probably going to have another big clump in the middle like we saw at the end of the last split.
Maybe.
All right.
Oh, no, that's it.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right, well, then for our final over-under, we're going to jump to the bottom of the standings. We find Cloud9. I'm putting the line at 9.5 wins. What do you guys think? Can they do it?
Way under.
Way under?
How far under, Mark?
Yeah, way under. What's way?
I don't know, like 7.5 wins.
Really? Oh, my
Well,
goodness.
okay, so.
All right, so if I had moved the line to 7.5, Mark, what would you call?
Maybe over. I don't know. I'd have to think more about it.
So that's a good line.
I didn't.
7.5 would have been a good line for you.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jatt, on 9.5?
I'm predicting them at 9, so I have to go a little bit under. Even if Mark is way under.
They have to win 8 of their next 13 games.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's possible. Dude, so there's been 5 teams with a 3,000 gold lead out of the 25 games that have lost. 3 of those games were Cloud9 games. So if they could just close out at an average level, they would be 4-1 right now.
If they just didn't lose games, they would win them.
That's clearly true, but also an oversimplification of the statement.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was true for CLG last split. How many times did they have a lead before it's finally like, they're 1 in
Yeah, and they almost won like 9 games. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cloud9's in trouble.
All right, we'll move on. We'll see where teams place at the end of the season and which teams will be going to Oakland. Make sure to pick up your tickets 1 week from Monday, July 9th, so you can join us at the Oracle Arena, where we will crown our summer champion. And when the game hangs in the balance, sometimes a Captain Jatt QSS or a perfectly timed smite can turn the tides, but then there are players who pull the trigger as soon as they see the opportunity, just to say, I'm helping, presented by State Farm. About 26 minutes into their game versus Clutch, Aframu catches Apollo stepping up just an inch too far and finds the fight his team needs.
In turrets, because that bot lane push from Jax just equalized that, and there's a catch in the front side. Look at the damage output there. They're going, and Apollo is gone already. 5v4.
Cannot do Baron here.
You see Ezreal?
But
Come here.
Yo, I'm bottom.
He's blind. Ezreal dead, Ezreal dead.
no W,
You can
no
play, you
W,
can play.
no W.
Aatrox.
Yeah, Aatrox.
W and 2.
No
Come on,
W.
I'm gonna exhaust him,
Yeah.
No.
Lulu to flash. You can dive, you can
W
dive.
and 2.
That was a pretty good play by the former MVP.
It was so fast. I remember I was looking away for like half a second, and we're like, where'd Apollo go in that fight? It's like, oh, he was gone before it started.
Right, then we saw the replay.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that was instant.
Yeah, I actually thought Clutch, the first time I saw that play, I thought Clutch was the one engaging because I didn't even see Afro go in and start that fight out.
I was like, I got this, guys. I'm going in. Oh, no, I'm not. All right, keeping in mind the state of the game and some of the results we saw yesterday, I want to present some completely reasonable statements in an installment of Overreactions. First up, the Golden Guardians are frauds.
Fair statement. Sign me up. I'm on board with that one.
All right.
Frauds based on what?
We'll break it down. So
Yeah.
we have been talking all split about this team through 2 weeks having that 500 record and possibly looking much better than they did in spring. So basically, we're projecting towards the end of the split. Considering them not frauds would be a 9-9 finish.
Well, I think 9-9 is possible, but not likely. But I wouldn't necessarily call them frauds because they won 4 games in the spring split. I think they will win more than 4 games in last split. And just because they lost in devastating fashion to FlyQuest, like, they also destroyed Team Liquid, and we're not calling Team Liquid's frauds for having a huge loss.
That's exactly why I think that they're frauds, because that was
because they smashed Team Liquid?
Because it was a game where Doublelift took Vladimir and inted level 1. And that's where we're putting so much faith in this team that they've turned things around. They're playing better. It was off of a massive fluke out of the best team in the league.
Yeah,
Right,
I think
their
they'll win
first
like
win came
6
over the best
to
team in the
9
league.
games this split is where I'll put them. Which means I think calling them frauds after that 2 and 3 start is an
Right, if
overreaction.
it's improvement, how can you say it's fraudulent? Okay, fair point, fair point. Now, next up, Cloud9 have conducted the worst roster bumble in NALCS history.
All right, so I'm
You can't even get it out.
Yeah. I need to define what a bumble is. I define
it's,
bumble.
Can we just say overreaction together?
No!
Overreaction.
I think that is a fair statement, depending on your definition of the word bumble.
Of the word bumble?
Yeah. To me, the
You're
word
saying
bumble.
the worst in history.
Yes. So based on fan perception, which is to me what a bumble is the fan perception of a team. They have first team players that they put on the bench, and then they started in last place. Like, how is that anything that's not a bumble?
By looking at the trajectory the team was on before this,
Playoff team?
No, they went like 1-8 in the second half of last split. They got crushed in playoffs, and then in the offseason, you're hearing them say the players are unmotivated and not doing well in scrims. That sounds like a sinking ship that they tried to correct and failed, compared to another historical event where a team got to Worlds twice and then benched their bot lane, and then that guy went into another team and stole the crown from them.
And won the trophy.
Yeah, so I think
like
that
when
one might have been a
Doublelift
historically.
won
No, they still won. I was actually talking about TSM.
Eventually,
All
they
right.
end up winning.
I like that because we're going to move on, though. Call the split now so Team Liquid can start training for Worlds.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Fair statement. You don't need.
So in other words, Team Liquid's won the split. There's no chance for any team to catch up to them and beat them in the
That
final.
specifically says Team Liquid can start training for Worlds.
Right. In other words, you believe they will win this split, so it's irrelevant to play it out.
I believe that they have demonstrated that they are likely a top 3 team to go to Worlds.
Okay.
I'm not 100% certain that they're going to end everything, but based off that, not an overreaction to fair
It
statement.
depends on the phrasing. The spring split champion has never failed to make Worlds, but we've also never had this level of parity, the NALCS. So I would still call it an overreaction that they can immediately start going towards Worlds. If that was the case, they wouldn't be playing comfort this early on in the season to try and get first place. They're clearly still trying to pick up the game victories here. So.
Looking to secure that trip to Worlds, Team Liquid is. We're going to help ourselves to a break. When we return, we look at our opponents going into Rift Rivals, and fans share their thoughts on the summer split so far. As we go to commercial, listen in on the comms that led to Optic's upset victory over Echo Fox.
It's my time, bro. It's my time.
It's my time, Arrow.
It's my time, Arrow.
Hey, it's your time.
I mean, you want support? Fang can play top.
Yeah,
you
sure.
play top and pro, so.
Okay?
I'm a hella good at support.
Fang, what did you guys do in that
No.
split? What was your
Settings
record?
okay?
I'm don't. Your TK was like 1 in 15.
wow.
Did honors?
Oh shit, I almost picked Nasus, bro.
Holy shit.
No, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm gonna run it down. I want to run it down mid lane, and there's no regrets.
I feel like Irelia's edge is like
Too strong. Yeah, I feel like if we
way
get that,
too
it's going to
strong.
be over.
I think a funnel too.
We're way more comfortable playing this kind of style.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. All right.
Channel?
No, I think he's gone. I think he's gone no matter what.
Yeah, and I'm
Oh, Shadow. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, this is fine.
Okay.
We're collapsing. We're collapsing.
I'm playing so. I'm over here. I'm over here.
Karthus can't die.
He can. He can.
It's that.
You got it. Nice. Holy moly.
Hey, get him to wait. Get him.
Okay, nice bang.
2.3k by the way. 2.3k.
They're suiciding. Just check. Calm down. Calm down.
Knocked them both.
Okay.
No flash.
We don't have to. Get out.
I got no. Oh.
I exhausted Kaisa.
I got no.
Okay, no, this is good. Fight with Johnny. Kaisa.
I got Kaisa.
Okay, Kaisa's dead.
I got Kaisa. You guys can win.
Aurelia's dead. You guys are winning.
No.
I can win this. I can win this.
I can eat.
I can keep going. I can keep going.
There's no way we can lose if we just protect our Kaisa.
We're just gonna have to 5v5 them like normal anyway, so they're just gonna come with Nash buff and just be ready to fight.
Wait, okay.
Watch out.
From first. I got W on. We're okay here. We got Lulu.
I'm ulting.
Okay.
Okay.
TK die.
Nice.
Go better.
Set. Heal back. Karthus flashed in. Let him alone.
I'm gonna push me up.
I'm here. You can go mid.
Can you see him? Can you see him?
Yes. Nice. And
got it.
Good, all good.
The mid
Close one, yeah, close one.
And the game, boys. Good shit, boys.
Let him out from the
Good shit,
noodle.
Good shit, buddy. Good shit.
Welcome back to the NALCS Countdown. Next week, the NALCS goes on pause as we host Rift Rivals 2018, where Team Liquid, Echo Fox, and 100 Thieves challenge the EU representatives. So, Jatt, what do you have on your scouting report for us, starting with Fnatic?
I actually think the teams coming to Rift Rivals from EU are pretty good. And they also show different styles that are much more practiced than what we've seen in NA. So Fnatic is the team that actually subbed out Reckless, the franchise player for a lot of their existence, to put Whippo in the bottom lane so he can play mages and bruisers, and they're playing both Whippo and Soas at the same time. They look really clean with this strategy, actually, and it brings many new looks. So they're 4-2 right now. Whippo has actually put up some pretty good numbers playing in the bot lane role. Also has a mustache, which no one else in the North American LCS sports.
Great facial hair.
He performed well at MSI for the squad, and so to see him down in the bot lane will be interesting. Moving right along, though, I want to talk about G2, another team that has shown us some interesting strategic maneuvers.
Yeah, they were kind of the really forefront of the Western teams to go out and go all in on these funnel strategies, and Perkz has been absolutely crushing it as a result, and they are probably one of the ones that influenced Fnatic, because early on, some of the losses that Fnatic was taking was when they were trying this funnel strategy with Reckless before they pivoted and found their own style, but G2 from the very get-go has had theirs 6-0 in Europe and has looked like the dominant team over there.
Look at his numbers.
It looks like he's smurfing.
50% of the team's kills. Like, this is what you dream of when you think about what a funnel would look like if everything works out. Right. And that's just happened all of the time for G2. So this is after Sven and Mythic came to NA, didn't even make it back to Rift Rivals. Perkz is coming in as an undefeated EU LCS team, who didn't win the spring split, but still were top 2. So G2, I think, will bring in, I hope they play funnel here, because I want the teams here to experience what a proper funnel looks like.
All right, third and final team coming from EU is Splyce. What are our thoughts there?
Yeah, this team actually was the third place team, has some good players, but had a very slow start in the spring split. 0-4. They were 2-0 last week, so this is your muted expectations for the European teams, like the Phoenix 1 of last year coming in. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know, man. They show up.
I like that comparison, though, because you know, P1 had a slow start last time, and they came back, and they had talented players. And, you know, Splyce, maybe it was just the start of the meta. They weren't accustomed to it. They start finding their footing, and they could be more than we're bargaining for just based off looking at their record in Europe.
Yeah, Ottawamne, Kasing. I remember that guy, Niski. He played for Envy.
He has some good games.
They got some players.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, well, then the question is, how will the NA team stack up to those three in terms of competition?
I'm not loving our chances, to be honest. Like, I think Team Liquid is the obvious hope for North America. They have their standard play style. There's a team in Europe doing that as well in Misfits, so it's not like this kind of really standard approach to the game is going to surprise them, and they should all be kind of accustomed to it. But outside TL, you really start seeing some issues.
Yeah, analyst me is worried, but we're going to smash them.
We're going to smash. There we go. That's
your brain is like,
warning. I thought some days Jax was good. Wait until you see Brandini and Levi, the 100th starters.
Man, I'm ready. I'm ready. I mean, it's an interesting thing, right? I like the point of TL playing standard, yet one of the top 2 teams in EU not attending this tournament is a standard team, and so not necessarily going to surprise anybody by sticking to that standard meta. In the summer split, with lots of changes on and off the wrist, we decided to ask fans here today, what their thoughts were on the summer split, both in and out of game. Take a look.
So what I like the most about the new meta is you don't have to play an ADC bot, because that's gotten really annoying, how broken ADCs have been.
You see teams that think in NA mainly that standard ADC is better, and then where you're seeing like more Korea, they're playing more mages.
You'll see a Yasuo, you'll see a Norelia.
What I like the least about the new meta is definitely the funnel strat.
Funnel strat, because it's kind of boring to play against and also boring to watch.
I enjoy the fact that I can kind of play like Yasuo or just anyone really anywhere. Like you can run him top lane, bot lane, mid lane.
The fact that we're able to basically play anything, anywhere.
Some thoughts from the fans in attendance today. How do you guys align with what was just said?
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, even the pros, are having the same opinion where, yeah, funneling's very strong, but it's not the most interactive play style that you can have around, and everything else is all great about the meta.
I definitely like funneling more than the average person, but I also kind of like lane swaps sometimes.
I love lane swap. Jatt does love the funneling because he loves to be the one who gets funneled. Anyway, mostly because I want to hear the newest jingle. Let's move things right along, to this week's Jatt Stats.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Plenty.
I can almost guarantee it's gonna happen today.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys context for this one because we're talking about control wards.
Okay. Okay.
Right? The average mid laner places 6.1 control wards per game, and the average top laner places 4.4. So normally a mid lane top lane combo places over 10 wards. There's a team whose mid lane top lane combo places a combined 2.5 control wards per game.
If it was the beginning of last split, it's TSM.
What team is this?
Yeah, when you're
So I
under
kind of,
one.
yeah, when he was placed one control ward over like 3 or 4 games. So I kind of want to go with that again.
Sure.
Only because I feel like maybe it's an early game or an early season trend before
1.25 control wards per game.
It's
per
ridiculous.
Player, which is like a fifth of the average player.
This is going to be a kind of shot in the dark. I'll go with Optic. Maybe a lot of the funneling strats keep him more focused on using his gold for items. And
I'll go with
coming
TSM.
in.
Echo Fox. Phoenix and Huni have not placed, and that 2.5 is combined.
How are you classifying mid laner, top laner?
The submitted roster position.
Oh my God, that is such a cop-out.
Otherwise it would have been correct.
Oh, come on, just yesterday or like a couple days ago, we were talking about how stats are ruined.
Double lift on average.
I refuse.
You're wrong. Double lift gets 10,000 gold 21 minutes and 44 seconds into the game, which is the fastest of anyone in the league. But we're specifically talking about bot lane carry players. The slowest bot lane carry player, and this is listed on the roster as a bot lane carry player.
Good clarification. Okay. I like it.
Averages 27 minutes, 19 seconds, so is full 6 minutes slower than double lift to hit 10K.
Who
is this slowpoke?
Slowpoke. Wild turtle.
You think it's turtle? I was thinking
because he's a turtle.
I think it's,
that's
what it is. You got it.
analysis?
Yeah, it just.
Has he been that
word
behind?
association? Tortoise is slow. Wild turtle.
I'll go with Arrow. I'm just sticking on Optic for some
that's
reason.
Okay, a fair one as well. I'm gonna go turtle.
You got it. It's Arrow.
Man.
Yes. The only reason I'll say this is because he gets no help in the bot lane. They just slowly lose the game.
I was actually visibly upset when he took a kill from Power of Evil.
You were. What? Yeah, no, he was yesterday. Remember that? When he's like, Arrow, what are you doing?
It's Ezreal.
Okay, we only got 6 minutes left, and we got a lot of content to cover
before the game
start. Another stat, context. Talia and Galio have at least a 20% presence rate and have a 100% win rate in the 2018 summer split. So, in the history of the North American LCS, with champions with 20% or greater presence, who has the highest win rate in NALCS history? So this is basically like, what is the best champ in pro play ever? This is a multiple choice question as well. And you're going to have a chance to ask the audience, so you're going to get to think about this one.
I was thinking Zach. Zach was what popped into my head.
Tristana, Zach, Callista, and Elise. Well, let's send it to Avali to ask the audience.
Yeah, please, help.
All right, Dash, I can see that you are struggling today, but I brought some friends to help you out. So, guys, champion with the highest win rate. Let me hear you for A, Tristana. Yeah. No? Not much for Tristana. What about B, Zach? Yeah. Lots for Zach. C, Callista? Yeah. Ooh, and D, Elise. Yeah. Not much for Elise. Dash, it looks like it's either Zach or Callista. What do you think? Hope this helps.
Audience says B or C.
Which I think are the two most reasonable answers because when Callista has been meta, she's always been incredibly strong. Like, so when she's been played, she's always been top tier, which implies that her win rate would be high. Zach, I feel like is almost a bait just because of the Meteos days, where you have this, like, I have this fond memory.
Audience gave you a choice.
They said, I'm going to go Callista. I'm going to go Callista because of how powerful.
I'll take Zach.
All right, we'll split the difference. Audience.
It's Zach.
I knew it!
I was going to go Zach, even if he went Zach.
Because it was his gut, too.
It was my gut, and then...
why would you...
Yeah, I have some fun facts to go with it. Elise is the most picked ever. Tristan is the second highest win rate ever. And Callista was just a total bait. She's got like a sub 50% win rate. But that's it. 0 for 3 on Dash, 2 for 3 for Mark. Good job, man.
Man,
Get it.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I hate this so much.
Really?
All right, but I have to read. Ahead of Golden Guardians versus TSM today, Coach Tyler talks about how Mickey gelling with the team will lead them to playoffs.
I think, of course, there's some pressure on getting a win against TSM today. We're 2-3 now in the split, and we really want to prove that we're here to fight. Like, we had a really good run against Echo Fox, and I think TSM is one of those teams where they can always have a really strong showing. They have a great roster, so we're really looking forward to testing our strength against them today. I think Mickey's actually surprisingly gelled really well with the team. Overall, his English wasn't the best when he got here, and it's been improving slowly, but he's making strides on like a person-to-person level that you can make even when his English isn't that great. So I think he's doing very well so far. I really hope that we make playoffs. My expectation is that we push ourselves as hard as we can in order to do that, and I think we're on the right track for that.
The expectation there is that they make playoffs. If they want to do that, of course, they got to start picking up the wins. We talk about the bar usually being about that 500 mark. With all of this in mind, I want to get win conditions on the board for our first game of the day. So, Mark, you're up first, the Golden Guardians.
I'm going to go with fight early and fight often. It's something that's worked out decently well. They like playing the, feels like, bloodier games, and they should do that against TSM, who can be a little bit of a slow starting team. You can run the funnel if you want, but if you do it, just make sure you go for one of the more aggressive ones, not the Kaisa Nunu, more like the Lucian Brahms or maybe the Aurelia Sejuani that we've seen before. I like a lot of their drafts, and I think they have really good ideas. It just feels like the team always flubs some part of the execution.
Yeah. All right, if the Golden Guardians are looking to fight early and fight often, Jatt, what does TSM want to do?
Wait for Golden Guardians to make a mistake. Because honestly, when TSM has tried to accelerate their game, and a lot of the times where we're saying they're playing slow, it's because they tried something that backfired. And I think the games they've won have actually been when the other team tries a dive on them or something silly. Sven picks up 2 kills and then goes and carries late game. Fighting early and fighting often, that's what Contracts had in his head on Braum yesterday when he flashed into 3 people and did 0 damage and died.
I don't call that
So maybe
fighting.
he's learned from that experience.
Why do you call it?
Right? All right. Okay, well, those are the win conditions for the first game of the day. Before we hand it over to the arena, let's gather some predictions for the day. And I want to say that I'm not impressed with the performance you two have been putting up so far in the summer split.
Gentlemen, it is I, Vedius, back once again. I've infiltrated your set, and it now belongs to me. I've come because I've been watching your predictions week after week, and I'm just
like
disappointed.
bedtime over there for Vedius?
You need my help. You need me to come and save you. Now, I remember, yes,
I'd rather
Jatt,
go
you were
0 for 100
victorious the
than
last
have
time
Vedius help me.
that we battled. But that's because
I'd like to change my
win.
predictions
I
to the
couldn't let
opposite
the
of
premier
Vedius's
analyst go
Yeah, Jatt,
and be defeated
he just called
by
you out.
European analysts. But things are different now. Things have changed. Rift Rivals is next week, and it is about time that we proved who the superior region was.
Okay.
Mark, Mark, the big boys are talking right now. I need you to just
only one person
Jatt.
talking.
I see that you've been struggling, so it's okay. You and I, we can have a bit of a back and forth. I'm here to offer my counsel, and I bring with me my predictions.
Okay.
Dash, I'm sure you have them
What are
already
they, Vedius?
prepped. So, gentlemen, best of luck on this week's
they're the
predictions.
same as mine
I'm sure we're
after
going to
all
have a
of
lot of
this.
fun,
That'd be so
especially
funny.
when Rift Rivals comes round. But with that, I will bid you adieu. Fairly well. Fairly well. Goodbye. Fairly well.
Hope his chair trips.
He just falls off the back of the stage. All right, predictions up on the board.
He has the same predictions as me.
Jatt, come on.
You're doomed.
All right.
Get
yeah,
out
so
while
no
you
matter
can.
what, no matter what, you and Vedius will finish the same on the day. Did you want to go and reverse all of your predictions?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I like my
you had
predictions
said
today.
it. You had said it. Mark, you're the one who chose differently in games 2 and game 4. We have 30 seconds.
Game
you want to
2,
say anything?
Rolling the dice. CLG,
Rolling the dice on FlyQuest.
This feels like the perfect CLG letdown game. That's basically my only reasoning.
All right, 20 seconds ahead of game time. Jatt, you're doomed. That's all I have to say. Let's hand it off to the casters to get us into the games.
Thank you, Dash. This should be a whole lot of fun. I'm